Good morning. Good morning, microphone. It hasn't reverted my microphone settings today. That's a nice, let's move that back to where it's supposed to be. Tweak some of my levels, because I'm never satisfied. One of these days I need to invest in that Stream Deck with the volume knobs. That would be really nice. Morning, Professor. Hope you're all doing good. I think he's a little high def for what I need. Let's see what else we got. Hmm, 16 by 32, yeah. I might just need to... Many reservations for your wedding yesterday. We're staying in Totnes. Lovely. Not too far. It'll be a taxi back and forth to the venue, but that'll need, that'll be sorted out. I really want to be sorting this out to save my animator a bunch of hassle. But, well, it's... You save the, there should be some single rooms at the venue, but I'm not... There's been such a hassle with, people getting stuff at the venue that I've just... Somebody else's problem. It's the only downside I found to the whole... Oh, we told me they'd booked up. Fair enough. If you did it over the phone, that's the only way to have done it. I hope you're managing all good in this weather, bro. I am, I'm currently experiencing survivor's guilt because I am fully air-conditioned. My room is a comfortable 22 degrees consistently. Like, I literally have, like, an industrial air conditioner up on the wall here. It's one of the benefits of where I happen to be living at the minute. No one else in the house is sat near an air conditioner. In fact, my younger brother, who is lodging here, is walking around in a vest and t-shirts and looks like a half-roasted chicken, and is very struggling with the heat, as I would be if my air conditioning broke. So, little bit of survivor's guilt, little bit smug. It's, you know, you kind of... But, like, I leave the room, and it's like opening the door on an oven. Or, you know, like, if someone's had a hot shower, like a really hot, steamy shower, and then you open, like, the bathroom door, and it's just like a wave of, like, hot, humid... God, yeah. Hey, I won't be in a bunad either, but I love the bunad. I think it's a beautiful piece of cultural dress, and as soon as I can, I would love one, but they are so expensive, and it's one of those, like, I don't know what my entitlement to wear a bunad is, but I love them. I think they're stunning bits of wear. But yeah, Digital Hazard, long time no see. Hope you're doing well. If you have any questions about what we're doing, feel free to ask them, I suppose. That kind of tapered off a little bit there. Let's get a bunch of this stuff sorted. Right, so let's get rid of this canvas for now. Let's main menu manager. We can keep that up there. I can create a new canvas. We'll call this main menu canvas. And then we're going to copy this. Canvas scaler, that was the one. There we go. Great. Cool. Now we can actually play with a getting a background sorted for StreamQuest. So I think the first thing we need to add, because I don't think I have it in the project yet, is the logo. So let me pop into my Google Drive where I keep all this stuff. If you don't have your shit backed up, back your shit up. StreamQuest logo dot raw. Logo. Show and explore. But yeah, keen to know how everyone is doing today. I hope everyone is fine and good and dandy. You're going to be mad because you don't have a camera, aren't you? Which is weird because we're just a UI, so I guess we can just make a camera. Yeah, okay. Main camera. Main menu canvas. So the absence. Mate, there is no sweat on absence whatsoever. You have no obligation to be here. Lurkers are the lifeblood of Twitch. Like, when you can make it, it's great to see you. If you can't, I'm not mad. Just disappointed. Yeah, I'm glad people... 3 Cobalt is a bit of a weird one for me at the minute. Like, I love that people are enjoying it, and I'm very, very proud of what we made. But I am no longer working for that company. The week after release, there was no more work available for us. So I've kind of stopped personally promoting the game. Like, I want people to play it. I want people to enjoy it. I have less of a stake in it now. Yeah, like, it's one of the reasons I'm back to, like, trying to build like a full indie portfolio. Like, I thought it was a no, I worked for this company, Crystal Spider Games. It was me and an artist. There was a level designer. It was all done as part of working for that company. It was essentially my game because the chap that owns the company was not he's not a software engineer. He didn't work explicitly on the game, but he paid for the project. So now, about a week or so after it launched, suddenly there was no more freelance work available, so I'm back to being fully self-employed, I think is the polite word. Unemployed, I think, is the other one. So I think it's the push I needed, because I've always wanted to go full indie anyway. Like, I want my own portfolio of pieces, I want to support myself off it, and it just kind of reminds me how volatile the games industry is right now. Like, not a bad word against Crystal Spider. Like, I understand that the funding just wasn't there. Like, Kobolds was not the flash in the pan I wanted it to be. Like, absolutely, I don't want any hard feelings to come across either way, but the fact is they are no longer my full-time employer, and I need to find some work. Or I need to make something that works, which is one of the reasons for going back to StreamQuest. StreamQuest is kind of a proven thing that I'm very proud of, and I think we can make something great happen with it. It was, yeah, amazing company to work for. I did 2.5 years there. Like, Trenchcoat Adventurer, I think, is my masterpiece. The problem is, it like at launch, like I stopped having any input in it, and I have no idea what's going to happen with it now. I hope it does well. Main menu panel. So I think what I really need to do here is decide what I want to do for like a main menu. So let's have a look at our UI, because I got a whole bunch of UI styles, but I don't want to go mad on the UI styles. Like, we've used a couple of them. I know it's very overdone and cliched at the minute. Tell me about StreamQuest. I don't need to. I can do this. Boom, 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 boom. StreamQuest is a chat-controlled, top-down RPG. We're actually working on StreamQuest 2. Like, the number of features I want to add to this push it way past what the original StreamQuest was, and I'm really keen to see it kind of all come together. I really want to do I really want to do I should go get some ice for that. I really want to do things like custom characters rather than pre-made characters and stuff like that. That does require quite a high level of like art input, which can't afford. But it is something I want to do. The problem is with the way the sprites are laid out, I can't just like cut and paste, because like you remove the shield, you have to draw what's underneath the shield, right? So that's a conversation with an artist, but all the artists I know are like super busy. Yeah, it's always fun to try and find your way around this stuff. What's a nice UI style? Because there's a whole bunch of nice ones here. I think I've overdone the storybook aesthetic with Trenchcoat Adventurer. So let's have a look at this. Alright, let's give ourselves a... I really like... I have to say, and I know it's really cliched, I really like the sidebar style of menu these days. I think it's... I think they're a little bit... eloquent, I suppose. And it's... Yeah, if you want to, Professor. Yeah, absolutely. I have no say over what anyone does with anything. 256. Let's go 256. Right. So, the other thing I'm doing with StreamQuest is not something I've done before. I'm working on a much, much lower resolution. I'm making sure everything is pixel perfect, which is really nice. But I really like the sidebar style menus. So let's take another 64 off of that. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. And then I want to add a UI image, and this is going to be SQ logo. Singles. We can preserve as. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot we had the full white space version. Let's see which one of these we actually like first. Okay, so one is actually 320, 240, and the other one is huge. Okay, that's fine. I like it with the little red guy on top. I think I used the non-little... I think I used that one last time. So let's make a commitment to the little red guy. I want to show this in Explorer because I want to bring out that. And I can bring this up, and I can... I took that right into the corner there. Cool. I'll go new. And we can go file, save as. We can PNG. Assets. Sprites, logo. Stream twist, 1. No border. Oh, stream side game. Always looking for something like this. Excellent. I mean, you can try it again. You can try it in a second if you want. Like it is actually kind of playable. I say kind of playable. It's fully playable. There's a few things I still want to add to it, but like, what's this? 137 by 117. 137, 117. Full pixel size. I think your pixel density is very different to... What if we... 256. What if we just, like, side menued like this? What if the menu wasn't the whole thing, and we just... 192 by 256. What do you suppose the total budget to create Kobolds was? Like, great question. I don't think that's something that's mine to discuss. I can tell you that it was probably 6 months of development time. 6 to 8 months development time. I could probably do the same thing a little bit faster. There was a lot of exploration in the early days, but yes, I would say 6 to 8 months dev time plus yeah, that sounds about that feels about right. It is being built in such a way that it will run readably while windowed. That's actually been one of the main things I wanted to focus on. Let's put a panel. How you doing, Prosto? I'm sure I always pronounce that wrong and have done for several years, and at this point, refuse to learn. I don't refuse to learn. So if we go down here, our width is 192, and let's say the height is like 64. None of this is what I asked you to do. I want you to do that. And I want your height to be 64. Great. Cool. Give ourselves a nice... Close enough. I'll take it close enough. So we're using our normal game UI. Let's give you a fancy one like this. Interestingly... Oh, it's because it's a panel. It's semi-transparent. Yeah, absolutely. That's so the main thing is built for streamers. The original concept was something that you could have on screen while you went off and had a shower break in a 24-hour stream, or like stopped for lunch, or went to the bathroom, or like were just having like a just chatting break. Like that was kind of the whole point, is that this is a game that you can chill with, that you can use to keep your chat engaged during a period where you need to go and handle something. What it became was people like running it in a window in the corner of the screen, which really affected the readability of it. So one of the main things I want to do is maintain that readability as much as possible. So I am building the whole thing at a lower resolution. So it looks great and retro if you blow it up to full screen, but like actually, and I'll show you in a second. So this is the actual full rendered like 1-to-1 size of the game. So if I like, that'll sit there quite happily. And that's full size on screen, right? That's 640 by 360 pixels. So it's designed that if you really wanted to crunch it down and maintain readability. So my main goal is, you won't see me play it full screen very much, is like I need to maintain readability at this size. Anything smaller, I'm not going to guarantee for anyone, because I think you really get into issues, because you have to also consider that not everyone is full screening their Twitch, right? So it's a window in a window in a window. So there's only so far I think it shrinks down and remains legible. Connection status. So, big flood of people coming in, apparently. Lovely to have you all. If anyone wants to ask what we're doing or chat about what we're doing, please do so. It's great to have you. I need to add a Text Mesh Pro. We need to flip Text Mesh Pro into our preset settings, which is always fun. I'm going to run down here. Right. I think what we need to do is... Alright, so if you fill that area, and then all we do is we add a top border... Are we 8? Wow, we're 8 pixels there. People saying it's close to how Spanish works. I don't know, maybe I don't speak Spanish. The one thing is there are no waddling sounds in indented presence, so O doesn't slide into you. I don't speak Spanish either. It's like, oh. I don't know how to explain. Yeah, we're into like voice note levels of like get this sorted, aren't we? So this is really the first thing I want to do here. We've had this conversation, right? Because I said Polish and you said not Polish, right? I'm also aware that naming the wrong Eastern Bloc country is an issue. But like I recognize it as it's a Slavic. But my experience with Slavic language is Polish friends, so cool. Connection status text. So this one's really important. Yeah, exactly, right? There is an ad break starting in a second. I do apologize. Might be able to do this without this, actually. Let's go Twitch connection status text. Let's go public TMP text read out text awake read out text get component text. I think this is fine. If Twitch is connected, I want to go read out text dot color green read out text dot text. Yeah. Connected, right? So that's the first one. If you're connected, that's the one. If is Twitch manager is else. Let's just do this really basic for now. I shouldn't be doing this in update. But this will hopefully update in something like all letters have a single correct sound. That's interesting. I think I prefer that. What I have found learning Norwegian is they've got like 3 additional letters, which has and continues to cause me headaches. But like in a very cool way. Yeah, you are correct, and I think that's interesting. Yeah, and I know enough Slavic people to recognize the struggle as well, so that's really interesting. I think I need to run this without data sync. Ooh. Oh, have we just crashed hard? I think we've just crashed hard. What did we do that warranted a crash? Interesting. Alright. Let's have a look at... As well, they're working in warehouses with Polish, Latvian, and Lithuanian workers. Had some wild stories. Yeah, I've done some pretty... impressive drinking in Poland. Let's put it that way. Let's public. Let's go float refresh timer equals 1, and then I want to go if refresh timer. I want to go if I'll go refresh timer plus equals time delta time. Like this. I'll go if refresh timer is greater than 1. Refresh timer 0. Serialize field float display update interval equals 1. I can't even bring myself to magic number in fucking prototype code. Half Lithuanian. Is that like half Lithuanian as in like genuinely one of your parents was full Lithuanian, or half Lithuanian in like the American sense, as in like there's Lithuanian in my ancestry and I refuse to claim to be 100% American? Both of those are valid, but one of those happens far more than the other. The thing is, called Lisp, I think. When people say R properly, it counts as speech problem, but in English it's just normal to say R can be more or less ringing depending on word. Yeah, so there's this thing with, aside from Lisps, there's a very interesting thing where I've noticed a lot of Eastern Bloc languages tend to roll their Rs, which is something that a lot of, like, oh, cool. So, yeah, there's an interesting... I think most people that learn, like, the Germanic languages tend to have a hard time rolling their R's because of the way that the mouth is trained to speak. So most people can't roll their R's, whereas I've noticed it's very prevalent among a lot of kind of Slavic bloc languages. Really interesting. Yeah, genuinely, that's very, very difficult to do. Why are you there? You shouldn't be there. You should be on here. Oh, yeah, and then I made that explicit, didn't I? It is a smear, yeah. That's a really nice thing to have. I wonder if we can shrink it. I think to shrink it down, or I need to make it bigger. What if we 24? Yeah, all right. Because I think that's an important thing to have, right? And what if we went for the... Oh, that is the brighter color. Yeah, okay, that's all right. Is it readable? Yeah, all right, cool. I don't think I want to do main menu today. I think main menu is kind of dull, and I don't know if that's what you're here for. So we're just going to set it up visually, I think. Let's... language is incredibly intertwined. Yeah. Let's go. Start the game. Let's create an empty parent. Let's call this button parent. I think the button needs to be, if we're playing silly games for silly prizes, 160 by 32. I think that's fine. Let's go button new game. Let's go vertical layout group. Let's give them a spacing of 4, 8. Can we get away with 8? I think we can get away with 8. We're in a middle center. We're going to child force expand width and height just for a change. I don't normally like doing that. I think at this point we can go button parent. It's a little bit bigger, like this. Yeah, this is my problem. This is where we start running into 160, 160. Yeah, that kind of works. So button new game, button connections. Button. Let's go. Same language different throughout the country as well. My mum is Scottish, but I grew up in England. We speak language but wildly different. I think that's one of my favourite things about the English language. I think outside of, is it Finland? England has one of the highest diversification of language and accents in the world. Like the least amount of distance for the most amount of change. Like every county in England has a distinct accent. Like there are dozens and dozens of like unique accents, and with that, grammar, spelling, well, not so much spelling, but like grammar, slang, idioms, colloquialisms, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a really interesting, but like England is packed full of it. And some of it's very subtle and some of it's real strong. Uh, 6, 12, 18, 240. I thought we were almost there. And then we can 24 from the top. Nope, don't like it. We can 16 from the top. Nope, that's even worse. 32. 32, 48. 48. There we go. Nice. Bomb versus... Oh my god. Just the number of ways you can refer to a piece of bread. Fucking insanity. Like bomb, bap, cob. Like you've missed roll immediately. And that's just off the top of the head. And that's 4 different ways to be a fucking bread roll. Let's do the bit everyone wants to see on screen. Oh, what's happening here? Excuse me. I know what's happening here. I think it was that one. Okay, I was correct. Come on, give me this. I think this key window at the bottom is wasted. I think this key window at the bottom is wasted altogether. What if we got rid of that? Did that. Did that. As I'm moving around the UI, please do not be afraid to offer opinions. I'm aware that I am being a whimsical bitch right now. 128. That's all I need. 182. 180, 181, 180, 179, 8. No, too much. Too much? Is that my problem here? Yes. There we go. That's what I want. 182. 128, 182. Is this good UI? I don't know. I just... That might poke no, yeah. It's just this last command. It seems like this bottom panel is good. It feels kind of wasted. But the key section was just not being used. Like, I've not got a home for it yet. I think if I'm going to do keys, I'm going to do them sat in the inventory. Like, you just carry around a key. Like, I've been wondering about how to fill the inventory up, and keys seem like a really good way to do that, right? Like, carrying around a key. But that left me space at the bottom. And I think last command needed something a little bit more central. But I don't like I don't like pushing this down. I think after all that, we're gonna do that. And then I don't have anything to go down here. So we'll put it back for now. I don't like it. Well, no, that's gone, right? Consumables panel's gone. What if we did a second readout here? What if we did... So we've got voted for move up. So we could do this. And then we could have an actual chat stream here. But I don't think that works. I think the variable length messages make that a difficult sell. I wonder if this is actually just another space for let me main men. It's main and men. You prefabs UI main menu. Connection status, right? And what if, just for a treat, but just some text, no ways. Click outside, it feels okay, but sometimes click on dialogue and close it, will sometimes make it whoopsie, so when he sneezes, we'll close that dialogue. So the easiest way to do that is to add a failsafe timer, right? So you kind of go... yeah, if I want to be able to click on something to close it, I think the moment it's open, you add a failsafe window where you're like, even if you click it in this amount of time, it's not going to close, right? Because otherwise, like, I've had it so that you click something and the thing opens, and then, like, as you release the click, it still counts and it closes it. So what you want to do is, like, on open, and then you just want to add a timer before it becomes eligible for clicking. And it doesn't need to be much, like a quarter of a second. I've noticed that, like, half a second, if someone is just trying to skip, is really noticeable and really clunky. Yo, what are you... Why are you refusing to... Okay, click. Click. Thank you. Why were you being... I'm gonna go up. That makes you 48 high, that's fine. Yeah, in my experience, that's always been, like, the easiest way for me to solve that particular issue. 24... Right, I think that's solved the, that solved the issue of what to do in that bottom window. I think it's nice to be able to show that we are connected. Oh, we're right next to the troll. That's not ideal. He's a big scary boy. Music just doing that big pause? No, there's no way. Yeah, I was gonna say that's a 2.5 hour mix. There's no way that's just timed out on me. But yeah. Put the troll in the corner. And then why don't we add some dudes. Five. Normal target position. Right, we do have some problems with sprite heights and the walls. So I do need to fix some of these renders. But that's not happening particularly today. Tell you what is happening though. I'm going to go fetch myself a drink and stretch my legs. I've been sat here for an hour. Y'all can do what we're here to do and play some Stream Quest. I'll see you in a minute. Normally I would just go to my Be Right Back screen. This should be my Be Right Back screen! I'm an idiot! Ah, hilarious. Ah, well. I should do like an available commands. I mean, it is my Be Right Back screen, but you know what I mean. Let me... Chatbot. Do I still have the exclamation commands command? Because that would be really helpful. No. Alright, cool. Add new command. Say. Okay. Have fun, I'll see you in a minute. Better be playing Stream Quest in there. Oh, really? No one's playing. Why am I bothering? Where did I put my headphones? I've got this habit of throwing my headphones on my bed on the way out. Well, I'm back now. Alright, y'all can play some Stream Quest while I eat my lunch. By eat my lunch, I mean drink my lunch. It's tasty, though. Alright. So it looks like we have a armor popping up. Is that ready? I'll have a look at the armor. Excuse me. Oh, he's going on a murder spree. I think the next thing on my list to add is some feedback. So let's do that. Let's do some feedback today. Let's see what we can do to make this feel a little bit better. And the way to do that, let's create empty. Text pop up. 0, 0, 0. Hey, I was winning. You were, but you were also highlighting issues. So we have text pop-up. Now, text pop-up, interestingly, is going to need a 3D Text Mesh Pro. And this might cause all kinds of problems with how I want this rendering. Oof, really? Okay. I suppose you're a mesh renderer these days. Yeah, obviously. Right. So if we go if we go 1-1, it's going to be the size of the player, and I think that's fine. So how does that scale? So that's about a 4. Dead center like that, and let's call it bright red. And now let's figure out how to make this bastard render above everything else that it's meant to be rendering. Sorting layer. Tiles. Foreground. It helps, but it's too small. It needs to be... Okay, it was the wrong font. That's not going to help. We got a 5. We got text wrap overflow. No wrap. Yep, that's fine. No wrap is perfect, actually. And then we can go immune like this, right? And I think we can probably go bold. And I think I want a stronger outline. Arcade picks. That really is quite a strong outline. But it's the only thing that makes that readable is that outline. What if it was a thinner outline but white? Nope, that really does not work at all. Good little guys bopping with my music. That's a like a full blind behind me, by the way. Like, that's how bright it is outside. So text pop-up. So what do we need in text pop-up? I think text pop-up we need set. We need a serialized TMP. No, it's not TMP text. It's... Maybe it is. Read out text. Public void set new text. String text. Color equals. And then I need to color equals. No, we are going to have to pass through a color. I think we are going to pass through a color for this. I want to go read out text dot text equals text dot color. Read out text public anim event destroy text pop up destroy this game object because I want them disposable. Do I want it disposable, or does everything just have a text pop up attached? It's disposable. I've decided. There we go. Animator. Animations. Controller AC text pop up. And then we put that in here. And then we animate. And how do we animate? Text pop up. Anim, we're only having a single animator. We're going to 12 frames a second because we're 12 frames a second on everything. Right, font.color might not actually work here. Even though all we're messing with is vertex color. So let's fade in. Let's fade in a little quicker than that. That's all right. I think at the same time, we need to interesting. Why are... okay. Womp, womp, like that. Thank you very much. Remove the whole thing. Let's put you on the goblin, because that's going to be a fair... Is that fair? Is that on the goblin? Six, 5, 6, 6, 0. Man, you guys all suck. I'm having such a hard time with Unity's inbuilt snapping at the minute. I built my own for building kobolds levels, and it was a lot of hassle. And I'm kind of annoyed that I might have to do that again. Anyway. So this is definitely going to have to go in the list of shit that gets rendered on top of the camera, and that's fine. Add layer. Foreground render camera. Because there's not a lot that needs to foreground render camera, but this is one of them. But we can do that in a bit. So what we need to do here is our position might actually be minus point. Actually, you are. Where are you now? Where are you? Okay, just being a pain in my ass today. We go here. And I think by the time we get to here, we're at 0.5. And then that was a 3 on the fade in, so we can go 1, 2, 3. And we can go TMP font color. Goes back to 0. Okay, that whole thing. Snappier with nicer fades. What if we dope sheeted this shit? What if we had a little bit of a bounce? That feels loads better. What if we did it more? Yeah, there we go. Hell yeah. Perfect. So main camera 3D, and then I think all we need to do is create another one. This becomes an overlay camera. We do nothing except this. We take main camera, we go to the stack. We have main camera 3D 1 like this. And then we go back here and we set this to foreground render layer. Cool. And then that will... So that's what I wanted it to do originally, and I think that's fine. I think there are things that need to happen on a second layer. Right. So now that's just going to go pop like this. That's got good feel. I think we can... What's the average height of the sprite of our... minus 0.25, right? So if I... minus 0.25... that should feel a little bit more attached to where that is. That's fine. Right, oh, are those goblins? Yeah, they're supposed to be. I quite like them. I think they're cute. Little brown goblins. The Gimblin. Yeah. Well, the top left one's a bat, who looks really great when they move, honestly. So, let's... text pop up. So if I go enemy bat, and I go enemy base, enemy controller. So enemy components, this is going to be a text game object, text pop-up game object, like this. We're going to copy that wholesale and take that over to player controller. Because we're going to use the same fucking thing. Player controller. I think we can. So now we got this. What we need to do is take damage. Take down closeness to take damage, right? And then I want to go text pop up equals instantiate text pop up transform.position transform.rotation .get component text pop up, like that. And then we go text pop-up dot set new text, and then we go. Oh, in fact, even better, I think we go public void text pop-up string text color. And then we can go text pop-up string text string equals minus add damage.toString. And then we can go text string red color red. Like this. And then we can go text color. Like that. Even better. even better way of doing this, because then we can call it from multiple places. Ah. So now enemy. I think the main thing I want to do here, especially with text pop-up, is that. And then they don't clutter. I'm aware it's not perfect. Okay. That should be a nice little bit of readout. I think that looks really nice. I think maybe the curve is a little... That's way too much. I want that same curve, but just a little... Feels a little bit like a peak. No. I actually think the first one might have been best. Cool. Right. Let's... body text. And collect text. Great. Collectible item. Setup item. Setup item. On trigger state. Destroy this gut game object. If try collect item, we want to go text pop-up manager instance text pop-up. This transform position. This item dot get item collect text color dot white. That's a good way to check if this feels good off the bat. See how that feels. Some nice feedback. Ooh. Very quick. Too quick. Haven't added a lot onto there, but I've added something. Yeah, alright. That's readable. The other thing I'm actually tempted to do is... Ooh. Really bump the text size. Let's see if that looks as bad as I think it might. We run the risk of it overlapping the edge of the level, which isn't ideal. Alright, I think we can bring it down a little. So what was that, 8? Let's try 6. I'm into that. I think that's great. Cool. So that's the feedback. So we've got that on item collection. Arrows. Large potion. Potion. Small potion. Let's have a check at the mail is actually working. Let's make sure the visual and everything on that is correct. And then I think we're a surprising amount of the way through this. Cool. That's what I thought. We're not getting the... try collect inventory item, armor slot. Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah. Let's make sure that that is correct. Yeah, okay. Let's have a look at that. So really, that should be like that. Inventory slots 0, 1, 2 dot clear inventory slot. I think that's probably correct. Oh, okay. Right, we've not actually done enemy damage yet. Enemy! Attack. 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 Log warning, no attack function. Here we go. Okay, we've got attack range, player detected, a hit.collider.compare tag player. Nice. Play attack animation, and then I think what I want to do here. Play damageable, player damageable equals hit.collider.get component like damageable player. Kind of don't need to do that because we've already decided that the player's there and we can be dead simple. Might need diversifying later. I think we just go player controller instance take damage. Random range damage. Are we not doing damage yet? Have I not got damage stats on you? Health max. Here we go. Serialized field vector 2 int damage range dot x damage range dot y unity engine dot random dot range. Should be fine. There's no point raycasting it if you know he's in that square already, right? I think people are going to hate the shield. I don't think people are going to use it. I think this is the same issue I have every time I try and implement defense into a game. It's not a difficult solve. Okay, it would really help. 3 to 6. Really help. Alright, so shield is working. Shield is working. And if I attack... Okay, we take damage without the shield, but we've got no retaliate. And they're both going to attack every round. So there's no point in defending. Because you're literally taking 50% damage for no gain. So I think we just make... We could just cut defend. Like, it's a whole animation that I don't need. Like, what does it bring to the party? And if what it brings to the party isn't immediately obvious and needs explaining, it's no good. Like, it's... The absolute goal here is simplicity. So defend doesn't read quickly enough. Because nowhere have we put down, like, if you defend, it takes health off shield instead of health, right? So maybe we just have shield. Maybe that's what we do. We keep the animation. We keep the animation, and then if you've got a shield and you get hit, you can do the shield block. Rather than sat with your shield up for the turn. And the shield just becomes extra hit points, and it becomes a soaking game. But it removes a layer of tactics. But I think adding a layer of tactics removes from the readability. It's an interesting conundrum. I'd be keen to hear your thoughts. Okay, I think I'm onto something. I think this might be. Let's just try this out for a bit. I want that take damage. All damage blocked, all damage blocked, it's true. Okay, I think that works for us here. Text, pop-up, instance. Alright. I think that feels better. All I need to do is... Okay, so we've removed defend. Defend is not an option. I need to fix that on the thing here. not the hardest thing to have pulled out, certainly. Let's see what that does. Okay. So plus 10 shield, no defend command. So he's going to attack me. And I'm going to defend. Nice. Let's go have a look at Goblin. So let's go like 3 to 5, 3 to 5, 3 to like 8, no, like fucking 8 to 15. God, sorry, my nose itches like hell. Up north. Hop. The male Horberg thing isn't ideal. Okay, didn't get a text pop up. Got one for damage done, not for damage taken. Shield broken popped up though. Interesting. I think I know why that is. There we go. That's that fixed. Shield works. Let's talk about armor. The collection text. Because again, this is... it's an armor upgrade, right? So none of this is important, apart from item collect text. So if we go public override... okay. We'll go here and we can go get item collect text like this. Right. And then either on the armor upgrade or on the player manager. Let's go. Serialize field. String. Sword level names. Let's get funky. Public class. Sprite string pair. Public sprite name. Public string name. Public sprite. System serializable. And then what we can do here is we take sword level sprites and we go sprite string pair array, and we go sword sprite string pair array, like this. Copy this. Bow. Armor. Like this. Get current sword level sprite. Sprite string pair away dot current sword level dot sprite. Dot sprite. Dot sprite. Dot sprite. Dot sprite. Okay, yeah. Okay. Give me those sprites. And then public sprite get next sword level name. String. Name. String. Like that. Armor. Cool. One more time. That feels like that's going to go nicely. Then we can go across to our return. Next armor level name like this, and then we can copy this, and we can find the sword and the bow and add the same thing. Great. And then we can try this out fairly quickly. Yeah, here we go. Cool. Oh. Hunting. Oh. Longbow. And then they can extend and we can get different stuff in there and that all works fine. My main thing is making sure that the item pickup text works nicely. So if I go up, I should say breastplate. I believe that's wrong. So current armor level is 1. So why did we call current armor level 3? You are an armor upgrade. Let's check that current... Let's check current equipment levels don't change. Why does it say chain hallberg at the start? Current armor level 0. We're going to go wooden shield. That's fine. I think we're going to go sword +2. Alright, we are a little high. So sword +1 is currently reading as... I think I know what's happening here. So this is happening post item collection, right? Which means that this isn't It's not get next level, it's get... So we're going to do that. So there's that, and 0 doesn't exist. So now we come in here and do the same thing. Null. Blank. Null. Blank. No. So the zeros, so they're done. Be nice to know why that was popping off collection texts for something that's not there yet. We should not be calling null. Let's see if we're still calling null. Wooden shield. Chain shirt. Chain shirt is correct. Are we calling null because it's on the start point? As weird as that would be. That doesn't quite feel like it. Wooden shield. Chain shirt. Chain shirt. No, that's a fucking bow. Why bow? Oh, I know why. Get armor, get bow like a man. That's a bow, you fucking idiot. Ugh. Alright, now the next thing I need to do is starting equipment. Although I believe yeah, the sword upgrade's an interesting one. If I do that, what happens? Probably gets mad. Gets a little bit mad. Have we called the sword upgrade? No. Alright, so I think the other thing we can actually do here is start. If we go void set starting gear like this, because we kind of know what they are and they don't necessarily need to be items, right? So all we need to do is find where we are collecting I kind of just need to have them. I kind of just need to have them on. So I need to have them on the starting square. That's the issue here. Is they need a starting square because I haven't done a reasonable way of adding starting gear yet. So there's two things to do there. I build a starting gear system, which is about as difficult as nothing, honestly. Yeah. Inventory components, bow command text. Player stat components, I think it can go in there. And here we just go serialize field, and we go SO inventory item base array starting gear. Right, and then set starting gear we go 4 each. SO inventory item base item in starting gear. Try collect inventory item like this. Set starting gear. And then in theory, we just go sword, bow, fuck it, and why not small potion, right? That should work. And it should work without text pop-ups, which was my big thing. God damn it, nearly. Well, no, it's just the sword. It's just the sword being a bit fucky. So what am I missing here? Try collect inventory item sword. Sword level ++, current sword damage, set item body text. So this that should work. Is it mad because I've got that there already? I think it's mad because I had that in already. Nope. This item. Come on. Are you not? Replace inventory item. Sword level ++. Can't find his inventory slot. Is that? Melee weapon. Set item text. Sign, refresh inventory visuals. Am I? I think I'm falling afoul of script execution order there. Right, let's see if that makes a difference. That should make a difference. That would be a nice thing for it to do. Command text gone. I just gotta make sure this is all wiped. I gotta make sure it's all wiped at the start. That's where I gotta be with this. Okay, so that's starting equipment done. So if I go up, if I go right, we might get sword +2, sword +1. Amazing. Now, did that change my damage? Two to 4, 3 to 5. It did. Cool. All right. I think we're there. I think that's quite a tremendous uplift visually. Anyway, I'll be back in a second. You'll play some Stream Quest. Or not, but you're welcome to. Ooh. Done it again. Left my headphones on the side of the room. I'll be alright. Do you know what? It's even for me. It's getting a bit too warm. It might be time to think about jumping off stream and finding a cold shower. I am turning into soup. However, it looks like StreamQuest is going okay. Do we have player death? I don't know. Let's move some of this stuff around so it's a little bit more appealing to like explore the level. The other thing I was thinking of doing was this. Is that the correct section? Yes, that's a matched section. So we need to go away. You ain't doing shit? You ain't the correct. What's happening? I'm offering to go to the Hirschhorn Museum for some artistic inspiration. You're a victim of superfication. The Star doesn't have enough mass to go spaghettification. The Star has enough mass to be wrecking my shit over here. I'll tell you that for free. Okay, what if I did that? Is that not? Are we not? Why are we invisible? What's your major fucking malfunction here? You're an image. Oh, wait, hang on. No, I'm just an idiot. It's cool. It's all fine. I'm just dumb. Let's make this a nice window, like that. Let's make it the correct size. So 188. So if we make you 188 and then y at 0. Okay, and then we can do that with you. Make you 186 with a pos y of 1, pos y of 0. Thank you very much. No. I suppose you should be a pos y of 1. Well, how do you get away with it? You cheeky dick waffle. You don't get away with it. But you're supposed to be that big. We've done it on the bottom. Damn. That means that whole cycling fade section is just a little bit too small. Which means it's 186 at a pos y of 138, and then this gets a pos y of 0, this gets a pos y of 0, and this goes where the hell it's meant to. So that's a pos line of 139 at a height of 186, which I feel like is a height of 187. I'm also doing UI on a perspective camera, which is about the dumbest and weirdest way you could do it. Yeah, we ain't firing on every cylinder here. We're barely firing. Alright, so that's very clearly 140, and that's very clearly 185. That's a nothing. What about down here? Do we fuck it up down here as well? Yeah, okay. So you're... Well, you're not correct there. You're correct there. 185. 140. All of these are whole numbers that should fucking work. But they're not. Now that I've stopped overriding myself, just got this down here, which is 140, 185, and why am I letting myself get wrapped up in this right now? This is the example of brain soup. This is like nothing is... Nothing of value is coming in or out of my brain right now. This is all meant to be pixel fucking perfect. And it's not. And I'm going to lose my shit over something that is literally invisible from 2 feet away. God damn it, Richard. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Pixel Perfect camera is kind of a bitch. Basically, I've got this set up. I have it set doing a thing the way I want the thing done, and now it's kind of not, but also not in any way that fucking matters. That's what that needs to do. Yeah, Unity UI is kind of a pain, and I can't even explain why that's frustrating me right now. Pixel Perfect is a nightmare, but it's worth doing. But it's also not worth me doing right now. So what we want to do here is add a nice header. I want to go UI canvas image, and I want to give it a header, something that stands out a little bit. Maybe we'll use one of these. We use these occasionally. Quite jarringly a different style. Although actually I kind of feel that for Twitch status in the bottom. It's no good there, but maybe that's nice as a... Anyway. Don't make any design decisions right now. It will all come back and haunt you in the face. I'll do that. I'm going to bring this in just enough to show off the... So that's going to be a width of 130 rather than 160. We can round height down to 42. And pos X and pos Y. Pos Y is less the issue, because we just snap at the top like that. Avail commands title background. And we want a UI. Text Mesh Pro. And we want to set this up with our Text Mesh Pro defaults. Set it to go big, and we go available commands like this, and we set it to a nice right like this. I think that's fine. And then, honestly, I think there's a really interesting way of doing this. So we go UI panel. I'll bring that down to match that. And bring that up like 8. No, is that not 8? We decided that's not 8. Fuck you. That's 8. You dick. Yeah, that is 8. That's what I wanted. Oh, it's because it's got this shitty background material. Don't need an image. Great. And I think you are also 8. And 8. And 42. Perfect. Commands panel. And then what I need to do here is create an empty, and this is just going to be command panel move, let's say. And we go add TMP. Do anything else? Yeah, I think we're just going to UI Text Mesh Pro, reset it to our defaults. Boop, like this. Boop, like this. There we go. Move up. And that's our command. Let's go 128, and let's go 24, and let's go here. And I think this is probably half of that, actually. That comes 50. So if we 50 that, that's not a problem. Because then we do this here. Like this, and maybe bring these down to 12, and we go up, move up, move up, north. Okay. So this needs to be bigger.